time to play balloon darts and I'm so scared. My Patreon Deb decided to make this extra hard, so not only is every balloon a prompt, I will be able to aim for specific prompts, but also there's a prompt inside of them that I'm gonna have to follow. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder needs to be read, so one of these balloon prompts needs to fit this, but I can't aim at all, so good luck to me. I'm so scared of myself. Why did I decide to do this? Why am I putting this on the internet? Oh my god. Okay, I don't know why, but like double prompts feels so intimidating. I'm not ready for double prompts. Not at all. That sounds so freaking scary. I think I have to either hit physical book or backlist to read this one. I think I'm gonna go with backlist because this is a pretty old book now. Okay, let's aim for backlist and let's hope the inside prompt is good. Oh, that was so close! I don't know if you can see that. That was so close. Okay. Yeah! The second prompt is 300 to 500 pages. Please work. I think it works. Okay. It's 387 pages, so this does work for backlist. That's really exciting. I've made 100 pages into A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. This is so unlike me. It is not my typical read, but I've owned this for a bit and my friend wanted to buddy read it, so I said yes, and I'm honestly having a good time. My friend Destiny, who I'm buddy reading this with, said that it reminds her of Pretty Little Liars, and so far I really agree with that vibe. There's something just like inherently bingeable and fun about it. Like, I don't think Pretty Little Liars was the best show ever either, but it was just so fun and chaotic, and just like the suspense it left me was so good, and I enjoyed the show as a whole. I'm getting the same vibes to this book. I really enjoy it to see what's coming next. This is essentially a mystery about the pretty and popular high school senior Andy Bell, who was murdered by her boyfriend, but our main character doesn't think her boyfriend did it and is trying to like figure out what exactly happened to Andy through a school project, and we're just like kind of following the mystery as it happens, but there's a lot of like little drama and stuff happening as well, and like suspicious moments, and I'm really enjoying like trying to figure out who did it with my friend. We kind of been texting theories back and forth, and overall I'm having a fun time with this one. I'm pretty impressed. I think it's not gonna be like a 5-star read, I don't think, but like as a light, easy, fun read, I'm having a really good time with it, and I think that's all that matters. I'm currently on Patreon sprints, but I do think that Nick and me are about to go fishing if the weather holds out a little bit. We're gonna go for like an hour or two to see if we can catch anything. That's my only plan though. I just want to get a good chunk of this red.
Please help me with the pizza.
Like how? What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to get it underneath. I should have built it on the pan. It didn't.
Oh no, you should have made it so thin.
Wait, we need to put flour on the pan. It's gonna stick. It's gonna stick. We need flour. I put the flour in the...
Did you flour that pan?
I did. I don't think this is enough flour. Can you grab my hands dirty? Can you get the flour out of the pantry? I'm working late. All the cheese is coming up. That's lots. I looked at it and I went, I should really put this on the pan, but I want the other one to cook first. Okay, I need you.
You should have made them thicker. Like, this isn't even...
I think I just put my finger there.
You did, because it's so thin. You shouldn't be able to do that. Like, it's falling apart.
Should we cut it in half and take 2 mini pizzas?
What is this even?
Stop! Don't stretch it. It's turning into a long piece of bread. No, you need to keep moving. Should we cut it? No, on the knife. Scissors? Don't have scissors.
There's a pizza. We aren't adults.
Okay. Yep, slide. Is it sliding?
I'm picking it up.
Slide. Yeah, let's go all the way. We got momentum. What stays in motion must stay in motion. A lot of toppings are on the other half.
It's fine. Just get it on the fucking pan.
Okay.
Like, it's not even...
Stop! My partner's leaving me. In the middle of our dilemma. You can't just run away from our problems.
Why is it so thin? Like, that's not even a crust.
Stop. It's thin crust pizza. Leave it alone. Giuseppe made it himself. Slide it over. You're not helping me. gentle with my pizza. Look, that wasn't that bad.
It's so bad.
Now we have 3 pizzas instead of 2. Would you rather Delissio or would you rather a gourmet Nicholas made pizza? Because that's what this is.
This is how the other one turned out.
That one isn't that bad. It's a little crispy on the edges, but you like things crispy.
I like things crispy.
You do?
I wish you were crispy.
BBL Drizzy.
Look, you're on a cleaning video like you wanted to be.
Look at my aftermath. I didn't clean very well. I missed.
I'm really enjoying this one. I definitely think a lot of the fun comes from reading it with someone. Mysteries are so fun to read with a partner and like buddy read them because then you guys can text back and forth your like theories and thoughts. So I definitely recommend like doing this for like a buddy read system of some sort. Like I'm having a lot of fun with it. I don't know if I would love it as much without that, but like just, and no, speculating on everything with someone is so much fun. I'm just over halfway, actually more than halfway. I'm 227, so I'm pretty close to the end. It reads so quickly. Mostly it's making me want to rewatch Pretty Little Liars. Like that whole vibe. That's what this is. If you liked Pretty Little Liars, pick this book up. It's fun. I'm enjoying it. I don't have a lot of thoughts because it's just like a basic mystery, fun PLL vibes, and that's all I have to say. Shiller, you're losing this. It's actually been a few days since I've talked to you. I'm really not sure if I've talked about it, but Nick quit his job. He was given the opportunity to go to another company that was work from home, and Nick really enjoyed when they worked from home throughout the pandemic. So he thought this was a better option. It was roughly the same amount of money. So he decided to go elsewhere. Also, this company's newer, so like there's more of a chance to like grow and stuff on it. So we did have like a week break. That's why we were at the lake, is because he just had like a week between quitting the last job and starting the new job. So I really spent that time like with him and hanging out with him, and I just decided to like not vlog as much for it. Still vlogged, obviously. But in that time, I did finish A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I really enjoyed this one. I ended up giving it 4 stars, which was like kind of shocking to me. I definitely thought this was out of my comfort zone, not something that I typically love, and I just like love that sometimes something can like be a wild card for me and I can really enjoy it. I thought this was a fun time. I really liked buddy reading it. I thought that was like a really good experience, like texting someone else and running our thoughts off each other. Like I really enjoyed this, would recommend buddy reading it with someone. We actually are going to be jumping into book 2 if I can make it work for this video. It'll be vlogged, otherwise I won't vlog it. But we are jumping right into book 2, and I'm really excited because I really enjoyed this. There was twists, there was turns, there was predictable things, but also like things that like were more shocking. I'm excited because I do think that this is becoming a TV show, and I'm excited for that show. It really gave me Pretty Little Liars vibes. I really enjoyed it. I will say I thought Ravi was sus the entire time. That's all I'm gonna say. So yeah, this one was a win for me. I don't do this often, but I actually have way more updates for you, but let's watch my balloon dart so that I can tell you about the next book that I read. Do I go for KU or do I go for like Ever and Audible? I think I'm gonna go for an audiobook. So Ever and Audible are kind of close to each other. I'm hoping one of those works. First try. Let's go. I'm good at this. Okay, for this one. Ooh, an easy one. This is a good one. It has to be a poll pick that's on the site Everand, which is where I listen to a bunch of audiobooks. So I put on the poll: A Queen Comes to Power, Bonesmith, Broken Bonds, A Deal with the Elf King, and Reign of Shadows and Endings, and The Revenant Games. To be honest, I wanted Broken Bonds to win. I felt like that would be perfect, mindless Stardew Valley, or A Queen Comes to Power, because it was a sequel in a series that I really wanted to continue. But A Deal with the Elf King won, and I'm not mad about that because I love Elise Kova. Like, I actually really vibe with Elise Kova's writing, so I'm happy about this one, and I can't be angry about it. I put it on a poll because I was interested in reading it. I'm 20% into this book so far. Listening to the audiobook, it is the dramatized version, which is not like my biggest favorite thing to listen to. I get really distracted by the noises and stuff. Like when they're like, oh, I can hear voices from across the room, and all of a sudden while they're still narrating the story, there's like voices in my ear. I'm like, what are those voices saying? And I'm just like, I'm gonna go this way when I'm supposed to be going this way. However, I'm still really liking it. I wish I didn't have the dramatized version to listen to, but it is what it is. This follows our main character who lives in a village that borders the realm of the humans and the elves. And essentially, being in this bordered town, they have made a deal with the elven kind. They will give a human girl to the elves every like hundreds of years or so, whenever they need to, or whatever it comes up at, to marry off to be the queen of the elves. And that is kind of like the price they pay to then get like magic from the elves, and they live longer than most humans. We're looking at people who have lived about 120 years and are still like quite young and have time to live versus like a regular human lifespan. So I do think that's cool. Like they say like they get the water from the river and stuff, and like the elves just like let them stay there because they have this like bargain. They've been struggling to find the next queen. They're typically looking for anyone with magic. When the elven king comes and he decides to pick someone because he's like, well, I've given you a lot of time, you haven't given me the person, so I'm gonna take the person. He of course picks our main character. Her main character goes with them, and we're going to like learn a lot about society there and, you know, all these intricate plot lines. So far I've only seen like that setup happen. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was interesting. It does remind me of Slaying the Frost King, like very, very similar setup and premise. However, this leagues higher than Slaying the Frost King. I didn't like Slaying the Frost King. This I'm really enjoying. I feel like it's well plotted. There's some side characters that I'm interested to see come back to life later. I'm really intrigued by everything and like the magic system. I trust Elise Kova, so that probably helps. Last thing on my agenda, I did unbox these for Instagram, but I got my stickers for the Every Romantasy Challenge, which I will be doing in June, July, and August this year. You can do it in any time, but I am offering sticker sheets for people, and they just came in the mail. This isn't gonna show up, but they are so freaking cute. They have all of the tropes on them, the micro tropes and the bonus point things. I'm obsessed with how they looked. These little like stamp things, so cute. I thought these would be like really cute in your reading journals, and I'm always looking for more like small stickers to be in my reading journals. So I was like, why not create my own? And I like really, really love it. The little like knife to the throat, who did this too, like little candy heart, so cute. But I think my favorite is the Why Choose and the Forbidden Love and Friends to Lovers stamps are adorable in my opinion. I also really like the Vampire Romance Book Club. Let me see if I turn this down a little bit. The ring light is in the way, but how cute are these? Like, actually obsessed. I kind of suck and I didn't update you halfway through. Who taught me how to vlog? But I did finish A Deal with the Elf King. I did think about updating you guys at least, but I just thought my thoughts weren't gonna change overall. Here's the thing, I'm giving this book 3 stars. It was okay. It was like the mid book you could ever get. I like the world building of this series. So this is a series of standalones. They all are kind of interconnected, but not. They have nothing to do with each other besides that like you can see the world get bigger and bigger. And I will say this is technically the first one that was published. So like there is a little bit of setup about the other worlds more than I saw in the vampire one that I've read. And I just like seeing that. I think it's interesting to see this like cool connected series because like they really have nothing to do with themselves besides how the magic works in this entire realm, because essentially there's like a border between the humans and the magical creatures, and each creature has its own realm where their magic works, but there's like laws put on by like the separation of the border. So like I do think it's like really interesting to see that in every book because they're slightly different, and like how their relationships with humans have been changed or grown based on like who they are. Like the vampire book had much more like extreme views than this one did, and I think that's why this one didn't like really work for me, is like they just kind of accepted everything very easily. It felt very mellow. There's no like good banter. There's no really really like hate to love in this. They just kind of accept that they're gonna fall in love. They're just like, wow, we have to get married to save all of magic kind. It's been done before that people fall in love in an arranged marriage, so I guess I'm just gonna accept that I'm in love with you now, which is fine. And I think a lot of people will like it. I actually texted Maria right away and said like, listen, I'm not loving this book and I think you will because it's very sweet. They're fighting against the society versus each other. Like there's no like conflict between them necessarily, but there's conflict between her duty and her like wants. And so like I think it'll work for a lot of people, but for me it was just kind of like meh. I enjoyed it. I enjoy Elise Kova's writing. I enjoy like the tone of the story overall, but like I wasn't obsessed with it. When I read the vampire one, I was like, I could read a whole another book just on like this. This one I was like, this could have been shorter, and it's already really short. So definitely like not my favorite. So we're gonna move on to the next read I have to do and hope that one's a little bit better. Like I enjoyed this. I plan on continuing on in the series of standalones. I didn't hate it in any way. I would recommend it. I have recommended it, but just not my favorite. Okay, next book. How could I suck so much at ring toss and be not that terrible at balloon darts? Like what? This is my game apparently. I think I want to make this vlog kind of fun and let's do a friend pick. I don't know if I can aim for that top one, so we're gonna aim for this like, this one that's got some things around it, okay? Oh my gosh, the dart flew. How am I good at this? What the heck? Has to be a friend pick that is shorter than the last book I read. I just got Sarah's clip, so let's watch it together.
Hello, people of Cassidy's channel. So, she has given me the opportunity, the honor, to recommend her a book. So here's the thing. If you don't know who I am, my name is Sarah. My channel name is Wicked Reading. I read a lot of horror, weird girl lit, and I like a little dabbling of fantasy romance. So our Venn diagrams, they cross a little bit, but not that much. The book that I truly want to recommend her does not fit the criteria of the page count, so I'm sorry, Cassidy. I don't have a fantasy romance to give you. I know you're really in the mood for fantasy romance, but I decided on a book to recommend you because I think that it is truly underrated. I think more people need to read this. And you did say you like slashers, and this is a slasher, but I will say it doesn't really get into slashing territory until the end. So just know that going into it. But the book is Curse of the Reaper by Brian McCulley. I sincerely loved this book. If you don't love it, please don't feel bad. I will feel bad if you don't love it. But this book encompasses all of the 80s horror slasher vibes and nostalgia, and it's just a really fun time. But also, there's a lot of deep discussions going on in this book. It is sold as Scream meets The Shining, and I think that is a very appropriate comparison. So here it is. I like both of those. Cassidy. I have a second book if you want to read a different book than that. If Curse of the Reaper really doesn't sound like something you would like, I have another one because I can't help myself. We have very different tastes and I want you to like the book that I give you. This one is very different. Curse of the Reaper has a couple of zany, goofy moments. This one is nothing but dark, psychological thriller, and that is I'm Thinking of Ending Things by Ian Reid. I'm not telling you anything about this book. You should just go into it. Sorry, I'm kind of cheating. I definitely gave you 2 recommendations, but I try to make it where if you want to cut out the second part of this clip, you can do it. I won't be offended, but I wanted to give you options since we don't overlap that much. So I'm excited to see which one you pick, and happy reading.
Okay, honestly, Sarah's so funny. Curse the Reaper sounds good. I'm Thinking of Ending Things has been something I've seen a million times. I may go to my resident, like, my taste in horror specialist, Lexi, and ask her what she thinks I should read out of those 2. Knowing Lexi and myself, she's gonna tell me that I'm gonna hate both of them. But I am a wild card, and I knew that me and Sarah didn't have, like, incredible overlapping taste, but I love Sarah's channel, and I love her personality and vibe, and of course we're hosting the Game Jesters together, so who else could I ask to do my friend pick for me other than my, like, incredible, amazing co-host who, like, I love to watch. So there's that. Like, she's fucking hilarious. I'm still dying at that Venn diagram. I will get back to you, I guess, on which one I'm reading. I probably look like an absolute mess. I have been spending all day sending out my sticker sheets. I can't believe I'm already sold out of them. I will be restocking them because I still have a few months of doing the Romantasy project, so I didn't want to get rid of them this quickly. I did not think I would sell this many, so we will have a restock coming. I'll probably have about 80 more to sell, so if you didn't get them, don't worry. I've also just been trying to grind out my reading journal, getting caught up on all, like, the reviews and stuff I had to do because I actually had a really good reading month. I didn't read that many like 5 stars. I mean, I did read a really, really good 5-star, but honestly, I read a lot of 4 stars. So like that had me really, really excited because like looking at this list, I did pretty good for star ratings. This looks so cute too, and I did use a little sticker from the Ever Romantasy right there. But I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 4-stars and 2 5-stars this month. So like I did pretty good. I need to write the like Spark of the Everflame reviews, but I like have been waiting to be in like the right headspace. But I really like the way Lexi's stickers looked on my Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Like the little drips right there. So cute. So yeah, I'm really excited. I've really loved reading journaling. So definitely think on my Etsy shop, you're going to see more things like sticker sheets from me because I just feel like I've been struggling to find small enough stickers for my reading journal. So I'm just going to make my own. Like that's my plan. If I can't find it, do it yourself. Also, this just looks like I'm glowing above my head. Like there's a halo. Oops, so sorry. I have made it 50% to Curse the Reaper. Honestly, I was scared. I was really scared about this. Sarah likes like weird litfic, and I wouldn't say that I'm a weird litfic person. A slow book doesn't normally work for me. I like all of my stories to be fast paced, and I find weird litfic is typically normally like character driven and slow. I am finding this book a little slow. It's a little bit too long in my opinion, but I'm also really intrigued. I do find conversations on addiction in stories really interesting. Also like the callbacks to slashers. Like I love a good slasher, and I also have a pretty personal connection to Alzheimer's, so reading about it in a book tends to really work for me because it's like a personal fear. And so when I'm reading horror and it can build on my own personal fears, I really like it because it just gives me like this anxiety driven feeling that I'm looking for when I pick up horror. So I actually am really enjoying this so far. I'm sitting between a 3 and a 4 currently. I don't think it'll reach a 5 just because it does feel like a little drawn out. Like I wish it was a little bit speedier. I'm liking the 2 POVs. I'm liking the storyline of the movie. Actually kind of shocked by how much I'm liking this. So that's a good thing. I'll finish it tomorrow and update you. And I'll look better than I looked right now. No reading updates, but I do have a little mini book haul. I went to the library. So I picked up Curse the Reaper because I'm reading it currently and I figured a physical book is probably good to have. So now I know exactly where I am in the book currently. I'm at 151. I need to finish this today. And then I also picked up The Bonesmith by Nikki Pau Pareto. This is a YA fantasy that I'm actually doing a giant buddy read for like the first weekend of June with Lexi, Monica, Mel, and Brie and Rachel. And we're all reading it over like 3 days. And I'm hoping to love this. I think Tori from Tori Between the Pages was obsessed with this. I remember her talking about it in a vlog and it made me want to pick it up. And I also really enjoy this cover. I know it like isn't everyone's vibe, but it's just like dark and creepy. This book has something to do with necromancers. I really hope I love this. I'm looking for another like YA series that's just like extremely bingeable. And I know the second book comes out in July or August. So I hope I love this. I'm trying to be better at going to the library, and I figured telling you about library hauls will keep me accountable. But I did have a book that I purchased also come in, which is The Family Experiment by John Mars. I pre-ordered this from the UK because it came out earlier in the UK than it did US, and I don't own any of the other John Mars books since I've only read one by him, The Passengers, and so it didn't matter for like size for me. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get this so I can read it sooner rather than later. I'm kind of obsessed with it. Like I just think this feels like a really nice hardcover. Like, okay, I've been a paperback girly all of my life, and I think I'm slowly becoming a hardcover girly, and I'm not okay with it because like I hate holding hardcovers, which is why I've always hated them, because like I like to actually read the books I own, and like I read like this a lot, and then my fingers hurt. Like literally my thumb and my finger are holding this up, and like I'll be like laying down, so like this is like holding it up. I'm just not a big hardcover fan because of that, but it like looks really nice. Also, they're like $10 to $15 more expensive than a paperback, and they take up more room on my shelves, and I have like a limited amount of shelves. I'm trying to not become a hardcover girly, but like it's becoming really hard because like this just looks so pretty, and I think I'm gonna buy The Passengers from the UK so that it matches if I can, because I think like that is kind of stunning. This is a reality show, so you know I'm gonna be obsessed. 11 contestants, 9 months to win, the perfect child. This one says The Family Experiment is a dark and twisted thriller about the ultimate Tamagotchi virtual baby, and I loved Tamagotchi as a kid, so I'm ready to read this. This sounds like really creepy and effed up, and I read The Passengers by him. I loved The Passengers by him, a sci-fi thriller. Thank you, Lexi, for introducing me to John Mars. John Mars, Blake Crouch, go-to for sci-fi thrillers. I'm kind of obsessed even though I've only read one John Mars. What am I saying? Okay, let's get back to reading. I need to finish Curse of the Reaper today. I finished Curse of the Reaper last night. I'm giving this, I think, a 3.5. I sat between a 3 and a 4. I enjoyed a lot of this book. I really thought the conversation on the human psyche was really intriguing. I also liked the storyline about the Alzheimer's and addiction. Like, there was a lot of really deep, heavy hitting parts of this book with a little bit of humor. And I think that's something I really love about slashers in general, is when they have like a lot of like politics or like a lot of like strong, deep conversations in them, but like typically there's someone that's just like killing you in like the most bizarre ways. So like it's kind of funny. Like there's a lot of humor to them. Like Scream is funny. It's like a horror comedy, but there's also so much discussion in Scream about the genre of horror as a whole, and it's like kind of making fun of itself. And like I love Scream for that. And a lot of horror movies do that. A lot of slashers do that. So I did really enjoy this. And my issue with it was that it was too long. I think the first 50% I was like flying through. I was like, I'm gonna pick this up. I'm gonna finish it. I'm really enjoying this. Like I'm so intrigued. And then I would say probably like 50 to 80, maybe like 85 just felt so slow to me, and I was like not caring as much. I think there are like important scenes that happened, but like I just wish it was like a little bit tighter. How long is this book? It's not long. So like it's always interesting when I think a short book is not short enough. It's 330 pages. So like I don't think it needed to be a lot shorter than this, but I think it could have been under 300 pages and just been a little bit tighter. Like we were just repeating a lot of the same things, which adds I think to some of the horror and the elements of what they're talking about. But I don't know, it just dragged a little for me, and that brought my star rating down from a 4 to a 3. I think I wasn't like obsessed with this. I didn't think I was ever getting a 5, but like I enjoyed it. I will definitely be recommending to it. I would have never ever picked this book up without Sarah, so thank you so much, Sarah. I was like really, when I saw this recommendation, I was not expecting to love it. I was like, oh god, what have I gotten myself into? I think Sarah wasn't expecting me to love it. I mean, I didn't love it, but like I really enjoyed it. I mean, Alzheimer's running in my family means that it hits like a little bit harder when a story discusses it. Like Recursion by Blake Crouch also talks about Alzheimer's a lot, and I thought that was so interesting and fascinating. I mean, literally yesterday my grandmother came over and we were discussing diets, the Mediterranean diet, and how it's been a little bit proven to help like women especially have their brain a little bit longer. So like it's a topic that comes up in conversation, and I find very interesting to like discuss with people. I know like not everyone can do that. Like my mother like hides from it. She doesn't like it. It's like her biggest fear in life. For me, I like to like be like almost extra aware of situations I could get into, and so like even though this is like fictional and like wouldn't happen to me, I thought it was like such an interesting take and discussion on it. I think this would make a really good movie, like a really good movie. I liked the elements of like film and all of that. I mean, I wanted to be a director at some point in my life, so like that also, there's so many like intriguing elements that got me, like the Alzheimer's. I do think I like addiction horror. Ghost Eaters is addiction horror, and I also really liked that. I think that there's something just like utterly scary about addiction and how it affects people. I like the film industry. Like I've always been like interested in the film industry. So like yeah, there's a lot of things that I like really enjoyed. I think child actors, like terrifying. What they go through in life is so terrifying, and no wonder they end up the way they are. So yeah, like I don't know, this really worked for me. I'm really shocked. I think I'm constantly exploring my taste in horror and not knowing what like I like or anything. I would definitely recommend this to people. Like I really actually really enjoyed this. I know I'm typically like fast paced, psychological isn't really my thing, but like I don't know, there was some action in this. I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much, Sarah. If you don't already follow Sarah, you should. This does bring us to the end of the vlog. However, I prepared a couple balloon darts just in case I read more than 3 books. I ended up doing 5 balloon darts, so I have a few more of those to show you. I also have to thank Lexi for inviting me to co-host Escape the Readathon. I had so much fun this month, and like playing all these games was so fun. It was something I only did because I was doing Escape the Readathon, and like it was honestly just like incredible, so much fun. Let's watch the rest of my balloon darts, and then I'm gonna give you a little outro. I think I'm gonna aim for this red KU. It just seems harder than the white one. Like I haven't hit a red one yet, have I? No. Red KU. Oh, that almost hit the white one. Red KU. I jinxed it. I said this was my game. I know I'm never gonna hit this. I do not want to hit social media wreck. That just sounds not good. I was scared to hit the wrong one. I like blinked for a second. That just like flew, and I thought I hit social media wreck, but it hit KU. We're good. Not what I wanted from KU. Not at all. This is a KU book that was in SBFBO. I'm counting this as a submission into SBFBO, so any of the 300 over the last 10 years counts for that. Should we go for another friend pick? I don't think I will need 5 books in this video, but just in case, should I go for friend pick or ebook or physical book? I think we're gonna go for friend pick. That's high. I don't think I can get this one. Oh my god, that was so scary. Oh, that was so close to new release. Also, like, the way the dart's just like in the air, they're like because I have no force to it. I suck. Okay, angry. Oh god, I can't reach that. Okay, friend pick. Think angry thoughts. Oh my, it hit the balloon. I heard it hit the balloon. No! I hit friend pick! I swear, play back the tape. I hit friend pick and it bounced off friend pick and it went to audible. That's not what I wanted, but it'll work. So I'm gonna use a color generator to get the color of the cover, and then it has to be on audible. Look, it's literally deflating because it has a hole in it. That's actually so savage. Thank you so much for watching. Again, thank you to Lexi, and if you want to continue the fun, I'll have more vlogs for you to check out on the screen and the next readathon I'm co-hosting on the screen.